friends. Hi, how are you? How are you feeling? How are you doing? I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Erin and welcome to my channel. It is way too late. It's almost 8:30 and I have way too much energy and I haven't had a single cup of coffee today, so that's a bit concerning, but I'm just hyped. You know, I'm hyped because we're talking about books. We are talking about the mid-year freakout tag, and I am actually very excited about it. So far this year, I've read 32 books in total, and some were really good, really great, amazing, perfection, you know, as Lady Gaga says.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same.
And some were just not up to my standards or what I thought. You know, like the hype. They just weren't up to the hype. You know, the elevation people put them, the pedestal people put them on. So let's just discuss them. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials and, you know, leave a like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Okay, so the first tag is best book you've read so far. And I have two. I have lore and I have All of Us villains. One is mythology, Greek mythology retelling. Well, not really retelling, but Greek mythology inspired. And the other one is fantasy. Lore is about a hunting of the gods. Zeus punished them, and that punishment is every 7 years, for 7 days, they're gonna be hunted, and they're gonna be mortals, and they can be killed. And, you know, whatever mortal kills them gets their powers. So now they become the new god, and so on and so forth. Until, you know, one day our main protagonist, she comes across Athena, which is one of the 4 remaining gods, original gods that are still around. Athena is like, you know, help me, and our main girlie is like, no, thank you. That's where the story unfolds. It's action-packed, it's so fast-paced, the characters are really complex, the world is so well built and established, and the rules, and just, it's really fantastic, and it's really, really good. And All of Us Villains is another sort of contest. Every 20 years, there are 5 families that secretly have fought over the centuries for the high magic. I think that's what it was called. And high magic is, it's pretty much gone from the world. It doesn't exist except within these 5 families. Every 20 years, they fight for it, and whichever family's contestant wins gets to keep the magic, the high magic, for 20 years for their family. I'm hoping I'm making sense. And so for 20 years, things have stayed pretty stagnant, pretty same, nothing's changed. And then this year's competition comes around. Things start to change. The routine and the monotony of the game, it affects the game, it affects its very foundation, because the high magic and the game itself does not want to be changed or challenged. The veil sort of starts to rip apart, and it's really interesting, it's really intriguing. Think of the Hunger Games but with magic, and it's just wow. Actually, now that I think about it, Lore and All of Us Villains are both kind of Hunger Game-esque inspired books, which I'm not mad about because I love the Hunger Games and I just reread them, so, you know, great. Lore is Hunger Games mixed with Greek mythology, and All of Us Villains is Hunger Games but with magic. Big brain energy for both of these books. Amazing, chef's kiss. Sorry, I had to go fix my bangs because they were stabbing my eyes. But yeah, next is best sequel you've read so far, and the only series I've read this year has been Percy Jackson, the first 5 books. And that was really wholesome, that was really cute. It's another Greek mythology retelling. I mean, it was very middle school, and the characters, especially the villains, were just very cartoonish, but it was just really cute. If you don't know what or who Percy Jackson is, it is the story of a boy, you know, the chosen one. He finds out he is the son of a god, and someone's blaming him for, that god is Poseidon, and someone's blaming him, framing him for stealing Zeus's lightning. So he goes on a quest with his friends to figure out who actually stole it and bring it back. And the story changes book after book, but that's mainly the story for the first book. And it was just really cute, and I actually highly recommend reading them. The next tag is new release you haven't read but want to. And the first book that I haven't read but really want to is the Book of Night. And, you know, I read the Folk of the Year trilogy like 2 or 3 years ago, and I really liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. And so I actually read, I have it here. I read this one right when it came out. and my best friend gave it to me for my birthday last year, and it's such a cute book, and I actually preferred this book over the original trilogy because I just think Carden is just such a complex character. I just love him so much. He's such a brat. I absolutely adore him. So yeah, book of the night. And then I also want to read Notes on an Execution. I've read so many good things about it. It has so much praise that I'm so curious, and I'm actually starting it soon. I just need to finish one more book. Then the next stack is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I only have one, and that is the second book, the sequel for All of Us Villains, and that is All of Our Demise. And when I tell you I finished All of Us Villains, I needed more, and I went to look for the second book, and come to find out it wasn't out yet. So I have to wait until August to have it and to read it. But yeah, I honestly cannot wait. It ended on such a cliffhanger. I cannot stop talking about it enough. Next is Biggest Disappointment, and that is Nothing But Blackened Teeth. And this book let me down so hard. It was supposed to be a horror, but nothing about it was horrific or terrifying or even scary. It was just confusing. The characters were all over the place, and they were so one-dimensional, and it was no plot, just vibes. But the vibes were just all over the place, and they were all wrong, and it was just not good. It's about this group of friends who go to Tokyo because two of them want to get married there in a haunted house. I mean, I'm not judging, but I am. And they end up being actually hunted by the ghouls in the house. And the main character is so unreliable as a narrator. It was so bad. The biggest surprise for me this year has been the Mary Shelley Club. It was so good. The praise I have for this book, the love I have for this book, it's immense. It still haunts my dreams and my thoughts every single day from how good it was. So much plot, so many vibes, all amazing. Just wow. This is a mystery thriller. It's about angsty misfit teenagers that just want to fit in, and so our main girl has gone through a bit of a big trauma, and she changed schools and she has to adapt, and in doing so she only has one friend. And so one day she kind of comes across / discovers / finds out about this club, this little club called the Mary Shelley Club. And it's a club. How many times am I going to say club? Who knows? It is a club dedicated to praising the horror genre, from films to books, mostly films. But in doing so, they also play pranks on the other students who have wronged the members of the club. And, some pranks go a little bit out of hand. And so our main character joins them. Along the way, she encounters romance and mystery and some death. And, the pranks just got out of hand, and she finds herself, she doesn't know who to trust anymore. And it's really good. It's kind of predictable, it's kind of cheesy, the dialogue and the characters, but it was so fun. And the last twist is actually, I saw it coming the first half. The second half, I was actually shocked. But yeah, it was so good. It was fantastic. It's a YA, but it's just fantastic. And I really highly recommend this book. I cannot shut up about it. I've even posted it on my TikTok, but yeah, it's a really good book. It's fantastic. And again, the vibes were just up here. Chef's kiss. The next tag is favorite new author, but I'm gonna change that to author that surprised me, because there was one that just blew my mind. And that is Crystal Sutherland. And she is the author of House of Hollow and Our Chemical Hearts. This woman, wow. The first book I read by her was Our Chemical Hearts, and I read it after the movie came out, and I liked the movie, so I was like, I'm gonna read the book. And that took me about 1.5 years to finish, and I didn't really like it. It was so bad. But then this year I read House of Hollow, and it was so good. It was fantastic. It was addictive. I couldn't put it down. I finished it in like 2 days. And it's a horror, and it's a YA horror, but it's so good. and just so compelling, and wow, it's absolutely fantastic. And so that's why Crystal Sutherland is my author revelation of the year. I hated one of her books. I loved one of her other books. Her other book, I don't know how many books she has, but yeah. Next is newest fictional crush, and I don't regularly get fictional crushes. I rarely ever do, because when I get a fictional crush, I do feel things, and I'm like, I love you so much, but then I'm like, but I ship you with this person so much that I would not want to steal you from them, you know? So yeah, with that being said, and with the new series coming out later this year, and I'm gonna actually reread the books for that very same reason, I'm gonna say Dmitry Belikov from Vampire Academy, because you can never go wrong with Dmitry. He's so precious. I adore him. I love him. And no one can tell me one bad thing about him, because I will not listen. Next is newest fictional character. And I think for this one, I'm gonna choose Yu from Pawn's Gambit. Because listen, she's a woman in her early 40s, I think, as far as I remember. And she does not give a shit. She could not care less. Just leave me alone. Let me drink my days away. Leave me be. Let me live my guilt a piece. You know, just let me chill. Let me chill. But of course the gods won't let her chill. She's such a complex character. She's an anti-hero of sorts, and I love that about her. I love that she's a strategist, and she sacrifices pieces of the game along the way according to her needs and the needs of the game the gods put her into. And I mean, the book is just fantastic, but she as a main character just works so well, and her thought process, it's ridiculous, because she thinks of every little thing that has to be thought, and it's just it fascinated me. You know, she's the type of person I want to be when I grow up. She's a leave me alone type of bitch. She's a mind your own business type of bitch. She's a cross me and I'll kill you type of bitch. Yeah, just kind of my hero. I love her a lot. Next one is a book that made you cry. You know, let's just get it out of the way. This one made me cry. We don't need to deep dive into it. We don't need to talk about it longer, or any longer than I've already talked about it in my vlog. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Is it a good book? I don't fucking know. Is it worth the read? Again, I don't fucking know. It depends on you. It depends on your threshold for pain. Mine is very low, and I held on. I didn't cry as much as as much as I thought I was going to cry, but I still cried on camera. Yay. And yeah, it made me cry like a baby, and I'm not even looking at it. I don't want to talk about it again. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to think about it again. Honestly, it ruined my month. So yeah, a little life. I literally forgot the A Book That Made You Happy tag. I don't know, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, but that book is Will Not Stop, and that book is just sweetness overload. It's so cute. It's so magical. It's so funny. It's just it's full of love, and I love love, and I love lesbian love, and I love my queers, and I love
talk, Valentina. Ally.
It hit a little too close to home sometimes. It was a little too personal for my taste. You know, I do not want to be bombarded with all of that, you know. But it was really cute. It's about two girls who fall in love on the subway, but you know, they start slowly realizing that one of them may or not be dead / a ghost / not from this time. And so it's a mystery also, and it's really cute, and the whole story unravels from there. That's a book that really, really made me happy this month. The next tag is most beautiful book you've bought so far. And now, I don't buy books because I'm a broke bitch. However, I got this one for Christmas, but I read it this year. And it's a really pretty cover. It's the ones we're meant to find. Oh, dust particles everywhere. Yeah, it's the one where it's the ones we're meant to find. And it's a story about two sisters who are apart from one another. One doesn't remember how she got to where she got, and the other one is trying to find a sister who got lost. It's sci-fi, it's a dystopia, it's set years ahead, and I really like this because the characters are very morally gray. And, you know, it makes you think whether the end actually justifies the means. And, you know, if your actions are good, why won't you talk about them out loud? But they're for the greater good. Questionable actions, questionable morals, questionable everything, and it's really good. It took me a little bit to get into it, especially because of all the lingo, like all the technicalities. But once you get into it and you look past that a little bit, it's really good, and it's so addictive. And yeah. And then last talk is books you need to read by the end of the year. And the only two books I can think of are All of Our Demise, the sequel to All of Us Villains. I will not shut up about it until I have it in my hands, or as an ebook. Just one or the other. I need to read it. I need to know what happens. That one, and also Demon in the Woods by Leigh Bardugo. The sort of origin story of the Darkling, and I cannot wait to read that one. I don't know if it's going to be a novel or a graphic novel or a mix of both. I actually don't know. I just know that... Do I know though? I don't really know. I think I just heard about it. I think Mr. Ben Barnes is gonna narrate the book, and I'm gonna read it, but it's for academical reasons, you know?
Why the fuck you lying?
It's purely research, it's purely intellectual, it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's Mr. Ben Barnes. No. No. Anyway.
Stop fucking lying.
Those were all the tags. That's my mid-year freakout book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what were your tags, what books you read, what books made you cry. Let me know if you have any fictional crushes, because I rarely get ones. Like, my fictional crushes are Dimitri, the Darkling. I know, but the Darkling. Except for that one scene, but we don't talk about that one scene in the second book. We don't talk about that scene. Dimitri, the Darkling. Who else do I like? Oh, Jacob from At Your Age, If Brown. Now that's my type of man. And Evelyn Hugo. Of course, absolutely, Evelyn Hugo. She's my number one crush. I love her. She's my crush, she's my idol, she's my everything. I look up to her, I want to be her, and I love her. And I actually can't wait to reread that book, but that's for another video. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, if we matched on anything. I actually do want to know. I want to know which of you guys share my tastes and whatnot. Stay sane, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!